I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What is up? Welcome into Pregaming here. Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Today is Friday, and we made it. We're here to the end of the week. Happy last day of this week here in August, and I hope you guys are ready for a big weekend here. We got a lot of fun on deck. You already know the Saturday live stream's going to be popping, and we got a card to pop into tonight. Looking forward to it here. We got some nice baseball action. We got quite a bit of football popping off here. Preseason week number 1. We will not talk about that disaster that was last night. 2 first quarter spots. Man, both those teams ended up beating up those games too. There's a reason I don't play first quarters. I just remembered it after last night. But we move forward. We've got ourselves a preseason football game today. We've got some Canadian football. That C stands for Canada this time of year. We got the prop parlay going out here tonight. I believe it's, can't remember if it's 4 or 5 legs. Can't remember if it's 4 or 5 legs, but I know it pays 18-1. We're going to get into the Orioles and Tampa game. In fact, I added a late-minute ad on that Angels national spot out there. We've got some intersecting zeros for you guys. So we want to make sure that we dial in and get that out there. Again, O's and Tampa Bay will cover that one. Grandma wearing your sister's panties again on the play of the day. Plus, we'll take a side there. St. Louis and Kansas City action. Subs should say Cubs and White Sox. Cubs and White Sox today. 1, 2, 3 spots in that Cubs and White Sox game today. Atlanta and the Rockies. We'll talk Philadelphia and Arizona out there in the desert. And again, we'll close out with some football for you guys. So lots of things popping today. I hope you guys have had a great day. Hope you had a good week. Hope you've been making some cash. Want to make sure that we stack it up so we can let it fly tomorrow. It's a big card. Kind of a weird card tomorrow when it comes to the UFC. From a person perspective, lots of missed weights, lots of last minute cancellations, but some great prices out there on some bombs. And you know what we do on Saturdays. That's where it's all at. That's where it all comes back together. We bring these apex predators of the octagon together and we go out there, and you guys already know what we do. We'll be having a lot of fun. We got all kinds of things to talk about tomorrow too. We've got more CFL. I was going to say college again, more CFL, more NFL. We've got baseball. We've got the UFC, of course. We might even get into the straps. You guys remember the scene of the crime, 4K, just a couple of weeks ago on one single strap race out there. So we got work to do, you guys. You know the deal. We need you guys to hit that thumbs up button. Show the support. Let us know that we're out there doing what you guys want to see. That's what it comes down to. That is truly the reflection of the thumbs up button. You like what's going on. You like the content. You like the people on the screen. Hell, even if you don't like the people on the screen, largely me, still hit the thumbs up button out there. Who cares, right? Let's show the support. It only takes a second, but it does mean an absolute ton for us, you guys. And again, more to come here. Getting the hockey schedule already in order. We're getting the football programming in order, both college and the NFL. So just grinding, just a daily grind. Money never sleeps. Neither do we. And neither does our bankroll. So shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford, killing them bookies overnight. He dropped in. He gave us that winner last night. And he's got more out there, man. So make sure you guys follow our dude. Things have been running red hot with sports money. You guys know the deal. Joe T's on a heater. I believe 18-3 for Joe T plays of the day. His assault on the under is in full force right now. Best time of year to be playing these overs. And Joe T is going to guide you to victory. Then we got our guy, Jay Peasy, and he's on a hell of a run right now. I think it's 13-4 on his last 17 free plays of the day. His video's out there, and I will say this. I absolutely concur with what our guy's doing on the diamond tonight. I love that spot there. I think it's a huge spot. I'm not going to cover it here because he covered it there. All I'm going to say is I concur. And if I was going to start the rollover again tonight, sadly, we lost last night. The damn Yankees. Damn those Yankees, man. Damn. But if we were going to start it again tonight, I'd be starting with Jay Peasy's play of the day. So if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do. I saw quite a few thumbs up already on there, quite a few views as well. So you guys know we appreciate that. We respect that from you guys showing us you're checking out the content. And speaking of content tonight, we've got ourselves 2 games that pop off at 6:50. We got a nice little 7 o'clock window, then an 8 o'clock window, and then quite a few games out there on the West Coast tonight. We've got 4 West Coast spots tonight to get into action with as well. So make sure you guys grab that pen and paper tonight. We've got all kinds of things to talk about to get us paid. More importantly, you guys, put your plays in the chat. We want to see what you guys are out there on. Love talking about what you guys are cashing with. Love seeing the trends. Love seeing the angles. Love hearing the runs you guys are on, man. It is sharp, man. We are making this the summer to remember. And each and every one of you guys is playing an absolute part in that. It makes me nervous when I start seeing things popping up on the screen. Man, technology the last couple of days has not been our friend, but I'm looking over to see if I'm still going. It looks like I'm still going. And away we go, in fact, there. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's get to work, and let's see if we can't get you guys out of here nice and early tonight. Starting it off, I talked about this guy. I talked about his 18-3 run, and he's got a 2-pack for you guys again tonight. He's looking to go to 20-3 tonight. He's going to take that Padres Marlins over 8.5. A nice even money spot for that Padres Marlins game. Did I just really invert those two? And of course, we know the Marlins at home have been a hell of an over out there. Why not keep it going tonight with them? San Diego Padres, the Cardinals, and the Royals. He likes the over 9 in that game. And I already told Joe T, I'm going to tail that over with him. And I got a big parlay riding on that over. So if that doesn't hit, he's getting sent a nice big invoice. So you know he's confident with that Cardinals-Royals game. He said, send me that invoice if that's what it has to be. A hell of a run for Joe T, man. We appreciate him coming in each and every day, grinding with us, giving you guys those favorite looks. There's my guy Smoke in the house. I see old E. David Wallace. NJ Stryker says, let's get that bag, brother. Let's do just that. Old E seeing 7.5s now in that Rays game. That's the best part about pre-gaming, you guys. We get to look at these games all day, try to find the spots that everybody wants to come grind on after looking at this card and trying to figure out how we get this money from those bookies. Subhuman Gaucho, there's one of those apex predators of the Octagon aforementioned, says, evening gang. One more sleep and it's time. Let's go, my guy. I did okay with that one. I don't know. It wasn't my best it's time, but shout out to Uncle Bruce Buffer and that UFC crew. They'll be in the baby cage this weekend with some heavyweight battles, so that should be a lot of fun. My guy Julian Cesario's in the house. He says, I have a sick hook for that song. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Julian, man, hit me up. Let's talk about it here. We're alternating between these two. We got 2 spots out there. We got the instrumental for our guy Kendrick out there. Because they're not like us. Nobody does it like us here at Sports Money. You guys know the deal. We got the best. That means they can only have the rest here with what's happening in the Sports Money universe. Oldie says that Miami team total over bottom of the 10th last night messed up my pace maker. But I'm still here. Man, I'll tell you, late night I realized I had a little boost on DraftKings. And I went after that Phillies and the over. And I added in that Seattle and the under. And it was about 10-1. Both them son of a bitches cashed in the bottom of the 9. Talk about your pacemaker. Woo! That was a lot of fun, but it was a great cash. Went heavier than I thought I did on that thing, too. So it was nice to get that money. Skunt Blaster's in the house. There's my guy, Skunt Blaster. He says, money day. Voodoo Ranger says, got an F. It's Friday. Parlay. Well, let's see it, my dude. 20-1. Hell yeah. You guys know all parlays are welcome here. We're going to hit some of these sons of bitches, and it's going to be a bankroll booster and then some. Tonight's, like I said, is a banger. So we'll see. I'm going to try something a little different. I mentioned to you guys before some new tools. trying to implement a couple of those tools tonight. So some different looks across the card, but I think they're graded very highly. They're graded very highly for a reason. I double checked. I looked through the lineup situations, hitter, batter, pitcher spats, and I think we're in a good situation tonight. We got some winner's circle action out there. Hey, yo, he says Steelers and Blue Jays. Likes the Jays on the money line. Voodoo Ranger says 2 needle-threaded plays, first 5 in full game money flips. Winner's circle says facts, Gaucho UFC. I love it. You guys getting excited. Jerry Davis says that intro was finger red number 1. All right. See, we're back and forth between these two, man. I love you guys reaching out to me, telling me which ones are your favorites here. We're gonna have to play them off at some point and try to figure out which one will be the go-to. But for now, we'll intro back and forth between them out there. Here we go. Look at this. The House of Silver and Gold. I love it. It says CeeDee Lamb to the Browns is the latest rumor. Jerry Jones ain't paying him. No way. I wouldn't be surprised to see CeeDee Lamb end up in the PHL. Why not? He's got some history in college with Jalen Hurts. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that thing transpires. We will be talking about that Eagles-Baltimore game tonight. And Old E giving sub the back and forth out there. Phil the Kill says, I'm at war with my book for misgrading a live raised bet last night. 19 hours and 3 support messages still not corrected. Wow. I'll tell you, last night with that Tampa game, I was talking with our guy Joe T, and I took a live spot. It was like plus 250. It was right after they scored their second run. No sooner did I push the button that they ended up pulling up on that thing, and never looked back after that. So that was great live betting action. You guys definitely make a note with some of these trends. When I tell you to get the pen and paper out, write some of these spots down, because if these games are close, these are some great opportunities for plus money spots when you know the trend is riding in our direction, especially when you've got some 22-0s or 28-1s. Especially, relatively early in the game. Don't give up hope. Speaking of our guy here, giving up hope, he hasn't given it up here. He's riding with them Royals team total over 2.5. I believe that's first 5. He's got the A's and the J's. Nerfy, and he likes the Phillies money line at minus 130 for our guy, Big Scott 510. It's great to see you, my friend. Gonna look forward to hanging out tomorrow, doing it up. The House of Silver and Gold says John Jones does not want to fight Tom Aspinall. I think Aspinall would smoke him, and Jones knows it. This is like when Floyd ducked Pacquiao during their prime. Little schoolgirls, pretenders. I just realized last night that John Jones' nickname back in the day was Sexual Chocolate. Maybe I did know that, and I just forgot it. But every time I hear Sexual Chocolate, I think about, Coming to America. Them boys is good and terrible. NJ Striker says gave out the KBA plate too. Let's go. NJ Striker. There's Jay Peasy. I mentioned this motherfucker, and he says, what's up, motherfuckers? Let's go, my guy Jay Peasy. Hell of a run our guy Jay Peasy is on right now. And he's giving it to you guys all for free. If you haven't gone out and subscribed to LA to the Bay all day on X, make sure you do just that. Our guy's giving it to you out of the kindness of his heart. Grinding. He's getting it before he goes to work. He's doing it from his sick bed. He don't care. He just wants to give you his best looks and how to get paid. Let's go. Ricky Levine says Dodger betters 39-1 against Pitt lifetime. Man, I didn't get into that game. If I was going to, I got to be honest, Ricky, it's a Pittsburgh spot. It's crazy to say it. I am not a Pirates fan. I see the line moving like crazy here to this Dodgers, but there are a couple numbers I can read to you guys towards the end of the show if you want to hear them as to why I think a plus 175 is a great look, at least a plus 1.5. We'll see. Passionate Butt Cheeks says, let's smack it tonight. Voodoo Ranger says, Vlad walk. Our guy Passionate Butt Cheeks says, cheers, pimp slap. Let's go. Dustin likes the Eagles, Phillies. Dude. I literally was oh man, like 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes before the show started, I was just finalizing a few things, and I was like, this feels like a city of Philly type of night. I love to see that, man. Well, same city action, Eagles and Phillies. Let's go, Dustin. We'll be rooting for you, my guy. Deer Slayer Ski says, let's go. Phil the Kill says, Madres, Marlins. I thought I screwed that up. I don't know what happened there. Was I stroking on camera? Was I having a stroke on camera? Maybe. I don't know. I can feel my appendages. I can feel them. out there. And Subhuman says he doesn't bother with MLB. He just tails these studs. Let's go, man. Appreciate you, Sub. Voodoo, here we go. He likes a little Ellie De La Cruz action, plus 480. Bobby Witt to hit a double at plus 250. And Trisha M says, hi, all. TGIF. Marlins over is a logical play. Added the hometown Finns for plus 370. Coins in the house. Appreciate seeing you, Coin. Let's go. Cliff Yang says, how much did DK tax you on those wins, Mike? I felt really good about sticking them right in their bottom outs last night. It was great. You know what's fucked up too is I would have taken a cash out around that ninth inning if they offered me something reasonable, and then I would have gone back and just live bet it a little bit to try to cash some of that money, but they didn't, and they lost. So they gambled and they lost, fuckers. Let's go. Voodoo Ranger likes Baltimore first 5, Tampa full game near 9-1, or just hit Tampa Bay money line when down. Bullpen advantage for Tampa. There's a damn good bullpen advantage for that Tampa Bay team. We talked about it yesterday. 3 straight games they had going into last night without allowing a single run. You gotta love that Tampa bullpen, and that makes me like that under. We'll talk about it. Ricky Bobby says fake news. CeeDee Lamb ain't going nowhere. There's Marco Carrasco. I haven't seen a guy Marco in a minute. He likes, here's a little bit of opportunity for him. Says Latin power tonight. He likes Solar, Santander, Vladdy G, and your Don Alvarez for our guy Marco Carrasco. And Passionate Butt Cheek says, looks like we got the Orioles at a decent price. I'm going to head to the bungalow and mix up some eggnogs and fire one up and catch this action. I don't know about the eggnogs, but everything else sounds good, Passionate Butt Cheeks. Nicholas Handy's in the house, says Randy Watson. You know what I'm talking about, dude. That's a classic, man. It's a classic. Oh, there's so many great stuff. Every scene of that thing's got just tons of one-liners, right? Big Scott says, okay, school Mark Henry vibes with the sexual chocolate. Oh, man. I saw that last night. I was like, I can't believe I forgot this. I can't believe I forgot that was the case. Robert Franklin says, John Jones might be getting up there, but in his prime, he would smoke Aspinall. Man, it's tricky because every time I look up a fighter, I start doing some research for Saturday. I see Aspinall kick the shit out of somebody. And everybody I seem to look at for these heavyweights and whatnot, Aspinall's kicked the shit out of all of them. It's like when you try to see the head-to-head for common opponents, and whether it was 6 years ago, 3 years ago, or 3 months ago, Aspinall's been literally putting boots to ass on everybody that he seems to face out there. So interesting stuff out there. Stephen Harrison's in us. He likes Pittsburgh first 5 team total over. I think that's a great way to get this game. I think that's a great way to attack that one. Let's go. Oldie. Trisha M says that Oldie. He clearly played that over, only to survive and sweat that France-Spain game. Finally, Spain. Man, when they were down 3-1, I was looking, something came up. Somebody called me or something came up when they were down 3-1. And I was thinking about draw betting that thing. It was a fucking great price. And I was like, they're just not going to go out like this. They got the home field. And shout out to Spain getting it done. But man, fuck me, I missed that spot there. Mitch Morber. This is Mark Henry in the WWF. Back in the day, went by sexual chocolate. Man, I'd almost like to have that nickname. I don't think that would be right, though. The House of Silver and Gold says he likes the Steelers tonight. I think they have about 4 or 5 guys that will play a lot, that have a lot to prove. Some of the younger receivers need to ball out. There's Kelsey. We haven't seen Kelsey in the chat in a minute. Kelsey, I hope you're having a great summer. Jay Stone 9's in the house. Says Dodgers with rest. That means it's a Dodger spot no matter what the numbers say, especially with Flaherty. Good Lord. Good Lord. Let's go. Mitch says, I hate that Steelers being a Browns fan, but boy, they made me money as a dog last year. I do like them tonight. And here we go with some trends in play. Jogger 23 says, going for 9 in a row, 45, 14, and 3. Padres, Marlins, over 8, 4 units for our guy, Juggler 23. Trisha M going back and forth. Let's go. Let's go, you guys. Let's get ready to get the business. Oh no, look at this fucking guy. Motherfucker. JPZ says, I wouldn't recommend fading the Dodgers tonight. I'll share some of those spots at the end, you guys. We'll talk about it. We'll have a little open conversation and see you can sway me off it. Hopefully it's a banger night. It don't matter. I just go out there with a couple cocktail fingers and I click away. Fridays are for clicking. Let's go, you guys. It's time to start clicking. Oldie says, cheater, pumpkin eaters. Peter Gracia's in the house. Says, Mikey, happy Friday. Big Negroni's in the house. Says, hi, guys. First-time viewer. Heading to Vegas and tuned in yesterday and hit a few good ones. TGIF, Big Negroni, man. Let's go. Love it. We love having new guys up in here, guys and girls in here. Look, man, we're just building a community of winning. All the bullshit aside, try to give you guys my best plays here, the plays that I'm on. And then hopefully maybe something sways you in that direction or keeps you off of a spot that you might have played as well. So give you guys all the information here. Again, we got the best time of the slot in the day. It's shitty when you're trying to do anything else, but when it comes down to giving winners here, that is what this slot's all about. Coin leans Houston, Pittsburgh over 38.5 in the preseason out there. That's a dangerous little look, man. That's a dangerous little look. These unders. I kind of like that, though. Kind of like Houston, Pittsburgh. Why not just see them open it up and rip the Band-Aid right off? Jerry Davis says, damn, I just see Flaherty going 6 shutout. Markel says, what up, my dude? Rushia's in the house. Says, burger and fry, home run parlay for pizza money. Is that fried out? Is it fried out? Is that the fry of that burger and fry combo? Rushia? Juggler 23 is coming in with this action. He likes the Diamondbacks, plus 1.5 runs, and the Braves, minus 150. Both 4-unit plays. I like that Braves. I can get down on that Braves. I could certainly get down on that Braves. I got some great numbers for those Braves tonight. And the House of Silver and Gold says, I think Major League Baseball shouldn't even play until they get a salary cap. Otherwise, just have all the owners bid on the World Series trophy. Don't even play. It's beyond ridiculous. Well, they get taxed. I mean, there's a luxury tax that goes into all this stuff, right? They get banged over the head at the end of the year, win, lose, or draw. They still got to pay. That's what we're going to make the bookies do tonight. Markel says he passed on that Dodgers game. Voodoo Ranger says Bobby Witt double. Ellie Cruz home run 20-1. There we go. It's the It's Friday parlay. I like it. Got some Bobby Witt in this parlay today out there. Jay Stone says, I haven't noticed that. I play action anyways. I said this before, you guys, and it's a strategy for everybody. I guess it's like no different than if you stay or you hit on a 6 in blackjack. Just do it all the time. I don't care about the pitcher. They're only going 5-6 innings anyways. You know what I mean? David Wallace is in the house down there in the Carolinas. Rushia says David Fry from Cleveland. That's an important distinction. And Juggler 23 likes the Dolphins and Ravens money line for 1-unit plays as well. Shout out to everybody that's stopping in here tonight, whether you're on your way to Vegas like our dude, or you're just getting ready to build some bankroll for the weekend. In fact, my guy going out to Vegas, man, make sure you check in tomorrow at some point where we talk about these UFC games here or UFC matches, because there are some great plus money spots tonight or tomorrow that we can get paid with. Shout out to Sancho. Let's get to work, you guys. Let's get to business. I like this little change of order here. I like starting with the parlay. I like starting with the parlay here because give some time if you guys want to contemplate it or you want to try to figure out whether or not you're going to get it in. Let's get that off the screen and let's get to work. The first play on the card, Cabrera under 15.5 outs. We got Bobby Witt Jr. with the RBI. Matty Olson under 1.5 bases in a game I think we'll see some runs in. Quintana over 4.5 Ks against a struggling Seattle Bat Fest. And then Drury, the Angels, under 1.5 bases. 17.4. Well, I guess I said that wrong. 17.5-1 is probably the best way to say it. Let's get into the numbers for you guys on this thing here. I'll tell you a little bit about kind of high level why I jumped into this one. First and foremost, it's Cabrera. You guys are talking about the overs in this game. We know about these numbers with the overs when it comes to Miami. This guy's inability to go deep regardless, and is now playing a Padres team that's been red fucking hot flamethrowers out there. I like this Padres team. I think this line has come down a little bit. In fact, it's from minus 136 to minus 130. We have 76% of the bets on the Padres, 56% of the cash on the Marlins. And yet this thing's come down a little bit. So as far as the total, 96% and 96%. Hard not to see that 6 ERA. I mean, Martin Perez for the Padres, not much better when it comes to 5.21. So I could certainly support an over in this type of situation. But because I expect runs to get flying around this son of a bitch here, I think this is a great spot for us to under this Cabrera 15.5 outs. I mean, that means, he's not going past 5. That's what that means. He's out. He's out after 5. And I think that's feasible. I think 4, he gets touched up a little bit, and he's on his way out. Then we start looking deeper down the line here. Let's see, who do we want to talk about next? Let's go to Quintana. Let's stay to the pitching realm here. Quintana in a spot here. I mentioned these Mariners. The Mariners, bats are striking out. They're not that great versus lefties either. And we see Quintana. The thing that Quintana does here is he's got that fucking breaking ball. And that breaking ball is problematic for the Seattle Mariners. They're the second highest K rate team against a lefty with breaking balls. Also, the last 4 games that we've seen Quintana roll out there, he's had 5 or more Ks. So over 4.5, and it's juiced to it's minus 155, I think, on DraftKings to get this guy's over 4.5 K spot out there. Got to take advantage and jump in on that one. Then I went to a couple of kind of alternate spots there. So I guess it is a 5-spotter. I guess I didn't count properly here. First of all, let's go to Bobby Witt. He's never seen Mikolas. He's hitting 350 versus righties. Mikolas, worse against righties than lefties, marginally, but still worse. He's a 289 against righties. He's only a 270 against lefties. Big opportunity for Bobby Witt. The guy's made the 50-50 club. He's balling this year. He's been playing well. Granted, that little snafu out of the All-Star break, look, it happens. It happens. Home run derby, screw everybody swings up, but he is back and he is ready to attack. Let's see, who else do we have? Matty Olson, 216 versus righties. He's one of the worst guys on the team when it comes to batting against righties. Now, the challenge is this Tanner scrub for Colorado. He's a 413 against righties. But the thing about this one here is we got Ozuna in front of Olson. Olson's in the cleanup position at 4. What a great way to lose an RBI with a guy like Olson, having Ozuna in front of you, banging that thing out of the yard. There is no need to clean up. There's nobody to clean up. It's a pop fly situation. It's a ground out type of situation. Under 1.5 hits for him. And did I leave anybody out? We got Drury, we got Quintana, we got Olson, we talked Bobby Witt, and we got Cabrera. All right, that's 17.5 to 1. Sprinkle action here. Try to have a little fun with that. I've got one more parlay for you guys. So, hey, shout out to my guy Billy Briz in the house. This is fading Penix like it's the national championship. The Dolphins got a good rookie RB. Shout out to you, Billy. Nice job. Thank goodness for overtime, my dude. Belgium. Billy Briz cashed his team total over. I see you, my guy. I see you, my guy. Man, I'm drinking it. Would take me 20 minutes to set that parlay. Listen, depending on the book you use, before you click into the individual games, look across the scroll bar on the top. DraftKings particularly, when you click on Major League Baseball and then it pulls up the lineups or the games that are out there, the schedule for the games, you can scroll across the top to batter props, and then it'll start pulling up each of those individual teams. Pitcher props, I would start with the pitcher props and do it that way, those because there's only 2, and then on the other side of things for 3. But look, man, there's no easy money out here. We're going to have to grind and we're going to have to sweat. You don't want to miss this one. I always tell this to my brother all the time. He said, that's too much to click. You're going to kick yourself in the ass when I click the winner. You don't want to be in that position, but let's see what happens. Let's see. I've got one more parlay for you guys that I'll add to the game here, but let's talk about this. In fact, I don't have anything set up for it. It's 6:45, so it pops off in 15 minutes. It's the Angels-Nationals game here. And line movement against the Nationals opened up at minus 112, now plus 100. 67% of the bets on the Nationals, but 62% of the bets on the Angels. Then we look at this total. 91% of the bets, 82% of the cash on the over. It's Parker with that 4.06 ERA at 6-6 on the season, and it's Soriano at 3.47 ERA. I'm going to move quick because there's not a lot of time for you guys here. So this is the intersecting zero spot of the day for you guys. Intersecting zero spot of the day. I'd love to have some of these different bells and whistles that I could push for this kind of shit. Like the FanDuel has the best line bell. I'd fucking hammer that thing every time we had an opportunity. Anyways, the Angels, they're 22-0 against a lefty to the over. When the line's greater than 150, the total's less than 9.5. And their starting pitcher allowed to walk the last game. I don't know the relevance of allowing to walk the last game other than potentially They're suspecting that maybe there's a little regression for the starting pitcher in Soriano, which is very likely. I mean, we've been high on this guy, and he seems to be the one and then done. He's like a zigzag type of guy. The other side of things, the other component of this intersecting zero is the Nats are 8-0 to the over their last 8 after they struck out 6 or more times the previous game. Also, we got a Mitchell Parker factor. Mitchell Parker, starting pitcher after a quality start. So this is another situation where they kind of one good, one bad, one good, one bad. Can't string together quality starts. He's 5-1 to the over after he had a quality start his previous game. So we've got intersecting zeros on this over. The average run line, by the way, 13.2 runs per game. This 9, definitely a little spicy here. We got the 9. There's even some 8.5s at -120. FanDuel does not have the best number, so that's a check mark in the right direction. I double dipped it. I got the 4.5 over in the first 5 at -110. BetMGM has the best number. Again, FanDuel does not have the best number. Critical component for us. Over 4.5 and over 9. Now you can get the 8.5s. I got the 9. Maybe it's even a live bet opportunity. So keep your eyes glued on that game. Like I said, I had no graphic for it because it was just something that kind of popped up late. Just sharing with you guys my card, sharing with you when I see intersecting zeros, I fire away. Let's get into this Baltimore game, though, because we've got more action at bay here. And it's the Baltimore Rays game, the O's and the Rays, 6:50 p.m. Eastern start, and a line that's been moving against this home Rays team. They open up as +114 home dogs. They're now +120, which is interesting because there's been a little bit of movement against them. And this little bit of movement against them is going to be big when I read this off to you guys here. 78% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the Orioles. Only 4 cents of movement, but it's also reverse movement. It's gone from -134 to -130. We look at that as line stabilization, right? Some of these schleppos that want to look at, I'm going to wait till another book opens the numbers up. And then they're capping the cap. We talked about this yesterday. We talk about it time and again. First number to hit the street is the number that we want to balance our evaluation on how the books are reacting to. And in this case, yeah, you know what? This is more market stabilization. So the way I would look at this, despite there is movement, all this money pouring in on the O's, the line hasn't moved. Line stabilization. 7.5 now moved to 8 for the total. And everything's coming in. 99% of the bets and 98% of the cash on the over. Zach Eflin starting for the O's. Little revenge opportunity maybe out there, taken against a team that just sent his ass on the bus. I'm sure it wasn't a bus. I'm sure it was a plane. I'm sure it was probably a chartered or a private plane that Baltimore sent down to pick up Eflin. 3.65 ERA, a hell of a start. New Jersey, new attitude. Still the same guy. 3.65 ERA, though. And then we look at Zach Lytle, 4.06 ERA, 5-7 on his season. This guy's got to be feeling good because Eflin goes. He gets a boost in the lineup. You see now, he is starting pitcher number 1 in this rotation. He's got to feel good about that. Not just because he gets to go out there and tout the ball against the best, but that's going to mean big things when it comes to contract renegotiation time. If he can get his head and his ass wired together. Big factors, obviously a big component that goes into there. I mentioned this one here. This is a big factor now that this line's come down from 123. Teams shorter than a 123 are 24-6 if they're off a win and an over as a dog, and the total's less than 9. And they change sites, of course. So a changing of sites, changing of venues, definitely means to me when they're changing venues, puts the other team a little bit at a disadvantage as well, because the other teams now got to go to they got to pack up, they got to travel, all those things that you hear about when it comes to travel. 24-6 when it comes to this Tampa Bay side of things. Now, we're turning the plane right into the storm when it comes to this thing, because the Rays are 0-11 as home dogs of more than a +105. It's not for the faint of heart, but this under factors in as well. We got the road favorites. First game of a series off a road loss as a favorite are 24-3 to the under if they were leading the series before that game. Why is that one important? Well, frankly, it's those O's that are lining up for that under, 24-3-2 to the under, and going under by just over 2 runs per game. So I had to pop in here. I had to do what I thought was prudent thing when it comes to this thing here. I took the 123. I also took the Tampa and the under 8. And I got it at plus 265. Let me just double check. Man, I turned the air off. It's getting toasty up in here. We're cooking, baby. Under 8s, yeah. Under 8's still the number that's out there. Moved from 7.5 to 8. So we're getting the better end of the number with the push potential being in play, which would essentially be like playing 2 units on Tampa if that's the case. But I think it's a great plus money opportunity. And if this thing does sail over and Tampa pushes pace, then look, worst case scenario, we're going to be up about 1/4 of a unit. But I don't like to look at it that way. To me, it's not a hedge. It's just more of we're going to be better than a push as long as Tampa wins. So let's get the Tampa win and let's continue to do what Tampa does. Play some defense, keep their pitchers rolling, motivation spots for both pitchers in Eflin and Lytle to make some things happen out there. So I think that's a great spot. I'm really excited about this Tampa game. Again, 650 pop-off. I didn't fuck around with this Oakland-Toronto game. And I didn't fuck around with this Houston-Boston game, nor did I fuck around with this Padres-Marlins game. That 7 o'clock window for me, I'm jumping in at 650. I've got those player prop parlays out there, and I wanted to kind of regroup because I do have NFL and CFL action that's going to tide me over through that 7 o'clock window. Then I get to 8 o'clock. I looked at some spots in this 8 o'clock window, and I hate when I do that. I hate when I fuck this stuff up. I got to go way down. It's still in the same window, but nonetheless, it's all the same to you guys, right? I just like to try to keep it easy for you guys as you're looking through, the ticket order, right? The game index or the game numbers when you go to look at a Vegas sheet or you go through your books. So I hate to have it bounce out and then we're going to have to bounce back. But look, we're going to win. So what's the difference here? We'll just get this W and let's move on. Game number 2. Well, I guess it's game number 3 now, right? Our official game number 3. Let me get this banner off the window. And let's talk some St. Louis and KC. You guys already heard my thoughts there. Bobby Witt. I mean, look at this thing. Miles Mikolas. Can we say pile of dog shit? Let me not get over excited here. This line opened up Kansas City minus 112, now minus 116. This isn't course correction because we had the St. Louis Cardinals open up at minus 104, now plus 100. So they're both moving in the same direction. 79% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. Everything's pouring in on the over. 99% the bets, 97% of the cash, almost 24,000 tickets in the sample. And as I mentioned, the bag of shit factor of the day, Miles Mikolas, 5.12 ERA, 8-9. 8-9. He lets up a lot of runs, and he's lucky if the team can get enough swings on the bat to go out there. Now, they are getting hot. They are heating up. So Joe T's fuck your under play of the day, I can see it. It makes some sense here. On the other side, we've got Lorenzen. Again, another guy. Put him in a new uniform. He's got a new attitude. He's happy to be in a position with a team that's 64-52 on the season. Hell of a start for him in his new digs. And I was looking at this one here. A couple thoughts. First of all, on the surface, if it's called the sniff test, Miles Mikolas is 3-13 to the under versus the Royals. Sorry, Joe T. This is starting pitchers after less than 90 pitches of their last starts. So kind of call this the bounce back position. They didn't go 90, so they're not kind of touting their average or 5 innings, typically in that case, maybe 6, whatever their number should be. 3-13 to the under against the Royals specifically. On the flip side, well, how about Michael Lorenzen? He's locking him down. He's 1-6 to the under against the Cardinals. Big factor there. 1-6 to the under. Now, not stupid. I see Joe T's 18-3 record. I'm not trying to fade that overaction, but I'm going to take the Royals here. I got the Royals in the 20-2 spot too, as it relates to the first game of a series against, teams in this trend that the St. Louis Cardinals are on here. So a 20-2 spot for me. And we got a little bit of late minute movement here when it comes to this side of things. Where is it here? I messed my order all up. Kansas City Royals. It is what the numbers say it is here. Everybody's at minus 120 across the board. FanDuel is the best number. Still on my card. I'm not going to say the famous last words, but it's still on my card. I just want you guys to know FanDuel has the best number. So I'm still playing it. Not going to drop the other term that I use because those don't work out so well for us. But I do feel like this is a Kansas City spot. Again, the 20-2 trend here. I got Lorenzen shutting him down against the Cardinals. He's playing well in this Kansas City outfit. And, this ball should get flying. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark. And if I'm looking at this thing between these two spots out there, what I want is the team that's blasting it at home with the advantage, comfortable with the elements, not having to go out there and make extensive travel spots. And speaking of travel, this Cardinals team's been all over the map. They got to have put on some 7,500 miles in the last 4 days when it comes to travel. They had that Cubs series Sunday night. They had to make that game up against the Mets. They go on the situation again, whoever they just played. And now they're back into Kansas City. I mean, that's 4 different teams in 4 different days. It's a lot of travel. That's a lot for these guys to prep and digest. The wind is coming in slightly at 8.1 miles per hour. But batter to batter, I mean, the advantage clearly lies on this Royal side of things here. Massey's at 253. Bobby Witt's, there he is with that 350 that we talked about before. Vinny Pasquantino at a 275. The one area or margin, Michael Lorenzen's great against lefties. A 144, great against lefties. There's 4 lefties in that lineup for this St. Louis Cardinals team. You've got Alec Burleson. You've got Brandon Donovan, Nolan Gorman, and Victor Scott, whoever the fuck he is, center fielder. Stick him out there in the outfield. And speaking of that guy, he's an 0.93 against righties. On the flips, I'm laughing because it's like, really? Let's just round that down to 0 and say the guy stinks. And that's 54 at bats, by the way. It's not just like a 3. He's only had 3 and he hasn't made any contact. That's 54 at bats, 5 hits, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Watch him laughing. Watch him fucking go yard his first at bat. But I mean, listen, we're not in the world of fucking fairy tales and fantasy land, right? On the other side of things, though, Mikolas, you got a 253, a 350, a 275, a 272, a 237, a 211. There's a 400 in Paul DeJong, 239 and a 221 across the order here when it comes to hitting against righties. Just the strength in the bats lies, to me, between Witt, Pasquantino, Perez, Renfroe, even DeJong sitting down there in the 7 spot. There's a lot of danger and landmines all throughout this roster for this Kansas City team and a 20-2 trend. Want to get me some action in there. Passionate Butchick says 8 minutes until first pitches. JP says, I'm always amazed at how Pip puts these recipes together. I hope you're talking about the parlay. What up, Coochie Cam in the house? Good to see my guy Coochie coming for you tomorrow, my guy. You already know the deal. It's me versus you. I don't care about the rest of the leaderboard. And I think that's good, healthy competition because that means we'll just be sitting there 1 and 2, my guy. Coin says Westgate has Washington over 8.5 at -115. David Wallace likes Baltimore. I'm just catching up. Sorry, you guys. I wanted to move through those early spots quickly. Speaking of quickly, I'm going to have to change gears here, and I'm going to have to jump into some football for you guys. So let's go bottom first. Let's talk about some of this football, and want to make sure that we still have some time to talk about it for you guys to consider it or at least live bet it. Look, 1 NFL game for me. One NFL game tonight, at least early. We'll see what happens as we see my boys go out there and stomp the shit out of these Ravens. Look, even if you're new to football, you know the Ravens treat the preseason like it's the fucking Super Bowl. Their record is unbelievable in preseason. I think didn't they have like a 27 unbeaten game streak going on. In fact, Joe Schmo, new to the game, 62% of the bets and 75% of the action cash on the Ravens. They opened as -10. Way early look aheads. Sharp sons of bitches in the preseason. A lot of you guys, not you guys, but a lot of people think it's degenerate specials. But when there's this much steam coming in, it's sharp action that's scaring these numbers. This thing went from +10 to -1 for the Eagles. Sit at -120. I took a -125. It's all right. Again, everybody, their brother and their mother, when you look at kind of the situation in the lineups here, I'm not going to get into this first quarter shit because obviously yesterday it bit me in the ass. Not excited about the pitching matchups that they have, or the NFL matchups. Tanner McGee, I mean, he has basically no experience. But Will Greer, let's not forget that smoke show that he had at the NFL draft. And Kenny Pickett, transfer in from those Steelers. Has game experience out there. The other side of things, the Ravens are going to start Josh Johnson, Devin Leary, and Emory Jones. One of those guys is old as fucking dirt. Literally. The Eagles, we know their situation. Nick Sirianni's now his 4th year. This team's deep. You know, Howie Roseman, this isn't just a homer pick. This is a fact that if you look at, you can call it a homer pick. I don't care. I'm take a win anyways. Howie Roseman's been not only drafting well, you know, the process and the theory 3 years ago, Jeff Lurie and him sit down talking about how they're going to go about drafting in the NFL. And they said, why don't we just start taking Bama and Georgia players? These guys aren't just national champions, but they're pro ready like day one. So they've been stocking the pond with SEC champions the last 3.5 years, 4 years. Furthermore, when they're making trades and acquisitions, the rumor on the street is Howie Roseman has to have blackmail pictures on anybody that he's trading with because it's unbelievable the assets he's been able to gain and dumping bad stock that just doesn't work out in that Eagles culture. So it's a deep team. The holes that they're trying to fill after a 4th-year coach and 3 years of making the playoffs in a row are minute. These guys are going to be trying out for special teams positions, which I think in this case here, you start putting them out there against other teams' 2nd and 3rd stringers. They're going to be playing hard. I want the full game. I want the benefit of some of this experience between Will Grier and Kenny Pickett out there. I want to see this game go deep, and I want to see the Eagles put the boots to the ass. We got the line movement in our direction. We got the team that's probably going to end up winning the Super Bowl this year. That's a homer call. But I got to get me some opportunity to take this Philadelphia Eagles team. Hell or high water, fire be damned. I love this Eagles spot tonight. I think this is everybody knows the Ravens are going to go. There's no way the Ravens lose. They're preseason champions. Fuck them. With all due respect, David Wallace. He says, I'm still on Baltimore today. Nicholas Handy says, Tampa knows Eflin O's smash righties. Over should be easy work. Koji says, I'm blowing on some Skittles. My home grew it's some fire. Good for you, my guy. Let's go. Let's go. Got to support the homegrown, my dude. Voodoo Ranger likes Vinny Pasquantino over 2.5. Hits, runs, and RBIs a plus 120. Jay Peasy gives us the Royals 13-5 on a Friday. Haven't lost at home on Friday since May. As bad as the Red Sox are, their last win on a Friday to start a game 1 of a series was their last game. So there's some big opportunity there. We got a same game parlay from Old E, likes the Royals money line and the team total over 3.5 to get a plus 110. And there's our aforementioned KBO wizard here, killing the bookies overnight. He likes the Lotte Giants. Lotte Giants out there. Peasy says Arenado bats 111 at bats. 1 jack though. That's all you need. 1, I guess, right? Yeah, ZC, I know. I don't like it. It wasn't like that before the show started. It wasn't like that before the show started, but yet here we are. What's the FanDuel money? I don't know what the FanDuel money is. Oh, what's their money line? It's minus 116 in that KC game is what it was. Coin's dropping some goods for us in the preseason. He's got Pittsburgh over 38.5, Philly money line, Atlanta money line. ZC says minus 116. I got minus 118 and minus 120 on my other books. I'm just thinking that it might be just a slow refresh. I don't know. I don't actually go into FanDuel. I don't play FanDuel. NJ Striker says, is the Eagles game on TV? It is for me, my dude. 4 letters. IPTV. Check it out, man. That shit is legit. All you need is a fire stick. Let's go. Let's get it done. Vitalis says championship. Maybe that's talking about this Baltimore Eagles game. That would be fun, wouldn't it? David Wallace. Oh, he says, not the Ravens. I will ride Philly with you. Okay. And Jerry Davis here. You guys, this is why you got to write this stuff down, you guys. Lotte and Kiwoom let me down in my round robin last night. But maybe it's a bounce back spot. Maybe you don't want to write that down. Don't write down that Jerry Davis got let down last night. Sorry, Jerry. I didn't read that. I didn't read that out front. Let's see. Let's go. We got one more game for you guys here. CFL wise. Let's get into the CFL. Now, unfortunately, we took that out last night. Overtime. Man, it was still under. I should have, could have, would have, should have, didn't, right? Fucking hate the shouldas. Hate the shouldas in this world. I should have done a bunch of things. I didn't do any of them. I should have played that fucking under and I got whacked. That being said, though, Calgary, I'm going to jump in here with this Calgary team. Yours truly, because I don't have a good way to take a snapshot of what these lines are or what they were prior to these games. I just did the old print screen and write this one down. And we've got movement in this CFL game. This thing opened up. It's now down to 1.5 with this Calgary Toronto spot. Shout out to my guy, Rod Zawacki. He talked about the Argonauts, Toronto. 10-26 against the spread, their last 38 Friday games. Calgary just beat the Argonauts. And it was just a week ago. Not even a week ago. But home teams have the advantage. There's 6-9 between these two teams in the series. Toronto's fighting. They got to win this game to get above. Both these teams have to win to get above 500. Calgary, for me, the thing is the motivation here. They're 0-4 on the road this year. Both these quarterbacks are firing. Jake Meyer, 71.6% completion on the season for 2,000 yards. Flip side, Cameron Dukes for Toronto, 72%, only 1,400 yards. Calgary is an air assault team that likes to go out there and attack, try to catch the vulnerability here. This line has come down. It's moving in the right direction. I'm not going to take the +1.5 now. I'm not going to try to chase that steam. I just want the money line. They've already beaten them. I think there's a lot more motivation here to get that W on the road for Calgary. They're going to be coming in here with confidence against this Calgary team, and they're not concerned about the lack or the ability of falling behind because they know they've got that confidence. 71.5%, 72%, 7 out of every 10 times the guy throws the ball through the air, and Jake Meyer, it's a completion, and he's going yards. He's going deep. 1,982 yards on those things for me. I'm taking Calgary. I'm taking the Stamps to make some moves here in this Calgary game. Give me that +110 action. Let me just check what it's at right now. I believe this game pops off at 7:30. +105 now on DraftKings is the best number you can catch on the money line. There are some +2s floating out there as well. So buyer, take note if you want that 2 in your back pocket. I just think they're going to go out there and beat this team. Suspiciously low line. It just feels trappy to me. They're at home. Calgary hasn't won on the road. It's a revenge spot, and it's only a 2 spot. Coming down from 3.5s earlier this week. Somebody sees something they like, and it's including me. I'm going to take the Stamps. I'm going to take the plus money opportunity there. Give me a little CFL action. Skunt says he's already on the under 49.5 there. Says added Calgary. I like the look of them. All right. 1-0 O's already. Who got that one? Going to be a long night in Tampa Bay. I don't know. Let's not panic. I had the under in that Minnesota game. They let up a run right off the hop. Well, Minnesota scored right off the hop. And they scored again in the second. Still went under the total. It's a long game. It's a long game. It's JPZ says it's Calgary. Shout out to Gokster. Yeah, he used to come around here and hang out with us. They may have told him, they may have scared him. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. AOD says, Mike, I'm my brother for life. Is Yoshida the ribeye? Yoshida is my ribeye play of the day at +175, I believe it was. I love that opportunity for Yoshida to get the RBI batted in for us here tonight. But let's go on. Let's go back to baseball, you guys. Let's get back into it. Just two football games for me. Both money lines. Eagles down -120. CFL shot that thing around. It's +105 over there on DraftKings. All right, let's go into this game here. Triple dipper for me when it comes to this game here. And, there's a lot of hate on Crochet not going deep. I get it. I mean, obviously you can look at the score sheet and see, he's not making it 5 innings, but he does have some compelling numbers that I wanted to talk to you guys about here. First and foremost, if Baltimore scored in the first inning, I just realized that a nerfy parlay that I'm going to have to go re-rack for 3 more legs. Yeah, I'm a degenerate. I like to throw $15, $20 around on some big long shots out there. I'll take the whole card and try to blindly pick them. It's better than going to the convenience store and buying a $20 scratch off. That's where the money lies, guys. Let's look at this MLB action. Let's get into it here. Let's get back. Let me pull this back up. Let's go. We've got ourselves just a couple more MLB games to talk about, and we'll get you guys up out of here, going about having yourselves a nice night. Going to make a cocktail. It's getting steamy. It is cocktail 30 for me. So let's go, you guys. White Sox opened up at +140, now +126. Totals moved from 8 to 8.5. I'm sorry. All the money's coming in on Chicago. Are you surprised? 81% of the bets, 82% of the cash on the Cubs, yet it's dropped 21 cents. The totals moved up from 8 to 8.5, 99% of the bets, 97% of the cash on this over. We see the deal. We got Crochet. He's rocking that 3.19 ERA with a 6.8. This is a big series. This is the big brother, little sister matchup for this battle of the Windy City. Hopefully you guys know why it's called the Windy City. It's not because of the wind. It's because of other things that I guess I just realized I probably shouldn't talk about. And I won't. Ron Crawford's on the Eagles as well. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Ronnie. Let's go, my dude. Let's get it. He is on the Houston. That's his dog play of the day as well, you guys. Look at all you guys coming in here, man, sharing your action. I love it, man. This is a community that's just giving without asking for anything but thumbs up and support, you guys. You know, make sure you do support those that support us, man. It's super important that we work together to beat the books and that we help each other out, right? Some of you guys come in here, you don't have time to cap the card. So you know you want to take an opportunity to hear what these guys have to say. Just make sure you support them, right? Shit. Whether you hit the thumbs up for Ron Crawford than even for myself. I can't believe I'm saying it, but nonetheless, that is how I believe it. Let's look at this thing here. Mel says, hi, Mike. Mitch Keller over 17.5 outs for Mel. And Shane Paramore's in the house. Says, what's up? What's up, Shane Paramore? He likes the Dolphins money line. Says, just moved from plus 120 to 125. He took it. What's going on, Shane? It's good to see you, my dude. Thanks for coming in, dropping by, hanging out. All right, let's get into this White Sox game. As much as we already have, let's talk about some White Sox factors for you guys here. Look, you know the deal for me. I'm either White Sox first 5 or the White Sox under. This line's dropping. This line, despite the total moving over, we're seeing movement to the under on the first 5. Suspicious. In fact, it opened at 4.5. We got 4s and we got 3.5s out there. And yes, it's not a typo. That is a nerfie. Let's start there. Crochet. 20 of 23 nerfies. His last 23 starts, he's had a nerfie 20 times. 20 nerfies. We're already Nationals up 1-0. Man, I love when we start getting fired early. Crochet, again, 20 of 23. He's got a 41% K rate in the first inning, regardless of whether he goes deep or not. He's striking him out early. I mean, almost 50% strikeout rate. I mean, that means essentially, 2 of the 3 guys could get struck the fuck out. That correlates to me with that first 5 under. So I'm all over it. Crochet, 0-5 straight up, though. That's what drew me away from the White Sox in the first 5. He's 0-5, but he's also 0-5 to the under. Again, regardless of how deep he goes, he's finding a way to keep it under the total. They've lost 84% of the games that he starts, by the way, as a whole. Poor bastard. I'm sure he was hoping to get the hell out of there, but maybe he goes one more year and they trade his ass anyways. Also, this goes back to one of those trends that we talked about earlier. Teams shorter than a 123 are 24-6 off a win and an over as a dog if the total's less than a 9, switching sites. Cubs spot. Now, granted, the benefit of this Cubs switching spot situation is, look, they're kind of traveling within that belt. They were home. What do they have to do? Pack a gym bag to go overnight? They could probably Uber back home from this game. So we got them in a 24-6 spot specific to them changing sites. And we got a situation where that changing sites is just a couple of miles down the road. Fuck yeah, I like this Cubs team. Like I said, I like this under 4. I got the under 4 at minus 125. I told you there's another way that I played this game. Let me cue it up. Where the hell did everything go? Here we go. Let's cue this one up for you guys. Let's cue it up. Parlay time here. Parlay time. We got the Cubs and the Brewers tied into this one. Specifically for the Brewers, I'll jump into this thing and just kind of keep this train rolling for you guys. I was looking at this Brewers spot. I see the Reds and the Brewers. Huge line movement. 84% of the bets and 84% of the cash on the Brewers. It's gone from minus 126 to minus 145. We've got movement to the over. 99% of the bets and 98% of the cash on the over. It's Savale. Now, this guy, leaving Cleveland, has not been new uniform for this guy. He better hope they're wearing City Connects or something tonight. 5.07 ERA, and he's 2-6 on the season. But we got Spears on the other side. Spears, 3.59 ERA. Neither one of these guys really strike the fear of, anything. And they're really anybody that they're seeing out there. 2-6 for Savale, 4-3 for Spears. It's hard to ignore what these bats have been doing when it comes to this Milwaukee team. And I'll tell you this, We do have get a big spot. It's a 17-2 spot if you're fading away on the Reds here. Divisional teams, longer than a plus 110, lost the last meeting and changed sites again from the last game. So it's a travel spot, lost. Divisional team, big dog for a reason. Not a big dog, but a dog for a reason. They're 2-17. It's that margin, again, that jumps off the page. They're losing those games by 3 runs a game on average. And we see this line's moved enough that I don't want to fuck around with the -1. I might still go back in there and play some -1s. But parlaying these two together, the Cubs and the Brewers, is a plus 175. They're both essentially home team. I know the Cubs are playing in White Sox area there, South Side. But I still love the fact that they're essentially both home teams. And we get it at a plus 175. I think that's a great parlay maker out there to couple along with the Nerfy, the White Sox first 5 under 4. And that's how I'm going to get paid on this one. We got 2 more baseball games for you guys here. 2 more games. Let's see what you guys have to say. Friedel, RBI. I think he's not a bad candidate for it, for sure. Friedel. Voodoo Rangers says Barrios steam on the over earned runs. LAA boots tailor-made. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go, you guys. We got 2 more games. I'm getting silly. It's time to get silly. I want to get a cocktail rolling here. So we got the Atlanta Rockies game for you guys next that we're going to talk about here. And let's keep it short and sweet for you guys here. Let's just keep this thing rolling. And you can see the deal. Who the fuck are these guys? Tell me. Unless you come out there and say this one dude's like a number 1 overall draft pick, and I guess I could have done some research to see if that's the case or not. I want me some over action in this game here. We know the Mets series was definitely some unders at Coors, but these Atlanta bats, we saw that last series out there, man, they were firing. They were losing, but they were firing. 86% of the bets, 93% of the cash on the Braves. Lines dropped, sort of. -175 to -160. But it's also dropped 2 cents. This is where that market kind of correction comes into play. Then we see a total that's dropped to a nice range to attack. 93% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. Are you surprised? It's over season in Major League Baseball. This line opened up at 11.5. We look at the numbers. It's down to 10 is the best number out there, but it's not FanDuel. It's DraftKings. DraftKings is a 10. FanDuel's a 10.5. By the way, I don't know what, maybe just think about this, but another business day is closed. I'm now at 10 business days closed. Fanatics did not notify me in writing why they voided my transaction. Gordon's got a 6.75 ERA. He's 0-3 on the season. Now John Holmes here, a 3 ERA, but he's not getting any wins. Most likely a position designated starter for this game. Rockies, they're 0-7 going back to July of last year when they're playing a team that's on a huge losing streak. 5 or more games. Tells me when teams know they're going to Colorado, they're excited to go out there and beat the shit out of this team. Also, road favorites off a home loss, 23-4 to the over. They're going over by 3.5 runs per game at Coors. We're getting this thing down to 10 now. I got the 10.5. I'm still good with the 10.5. I might circle back and take a little 10 though. We got some time before this game pops off, but just in the event that I get the old hook job here, and we get to a 10, like yesterday, right? 9-1 in that Mets game. If you had the under 10.5, you cashed. If you had the over 10.5, you're fucked. It's that simple. Shout out to Jay Peasy. Cashed that Mets in the under spot for a plus 181 yesterday. And I want some over action here. I'm not mad at anybody that wants to get involved with the Braves. I get it. I see it. It makes a lot of sense to me. Just can't get there. I'm going to take this over. I thought about adding the Braves to that parlay. Probably makes a lot of sense to beef it up. I was happy with the 175 with the Cubs and the Brewers, but because I'm on that Ozuna under 1.5 bases, I don't know. I don't know if there's any correlation between him winning or not, but fuck him. Let's get him not to get his bases, and let's see Colorado and the Atlanta Braves go over the total. Last game on the card. I kind of tipped my hat at the start of the show for this one, you guys. Look, this number's come down a lot. I mean, it's taken some steam, some action, some hot, sweaty action. This thing has come back up, though. This is the bounce back that we look for this time of day on the show. Benefit of doing this show. We're tracking this number all day fucking long. At least I am. And that's why you guys don't have to. I'll do that for you. This thing moved from minus 170. It dropped to minus 125. I took it at minus 125. 78% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the Phillies. Then we look at the total. 99 and 99. 8.5s across the board. Has not moved. We've got Zach Wheeler, a 2.77 ERA, 11-5 on the season. And Ryan Nelson, 4.65 ERA, 8-6 on his season. And I already told you guys what I'm taking in this game here. And I love the fact that it's bounced back up. Also, we don't have the best number on FanDuel. It's super huge, super critical. I'm sure FanDuel will never want to sponsor this program ever because of, benchmark. There's three things I use for a benchmark. One, I won't tell you about because it rolls in our community. Two, there's a Red X guy for the UFC. You guys have followed it on a regular basis. You know the deal. And three, FanDuel, making sure they don't have the best numbers. Keep it simple. Look, you got to gamble a long time. You guys see the demographic here. You guys are all in that we've gambled for a while now situation. You know the deal. At some point, you just know what you know, and that's all you know, and that's fine. But let's talk about this lineup here as we look at this team here, and I'll tell you a little bit of why I got excited about this Philadelphia spot. A couple things going on. I guess I can summarize it like this. They destroyed Nelson. This Philadelphia team does. Not only that, they gobble up righties. 216, 307, 261, 303, 256, 235, 239, 242, 261 is the batting order across the board. Righties, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 righties in the lineup. We see Ryan Nelson's a 317 against righties. Now, why didn't they put more righties in there? Well, you tell me who you're going to take out. Lefty Schwarber, lefty Harper, lefty Brandon Marsh, lefty Bryson Stott. All right, they can stay. Let's just put a bunch of other righties in the lineup. On the flip side of things, Zach Wheeler is lights out against righties, 151. Now, Arizona realizes that. They've got two true natural righties, Eugenio Suarez and Kevin Newman. Zach Wheeler's better than anything Ryan Nelson can throw against lefties. He's a 222. And Arizona's going to try to stack those lefties up. What are they putting up? Well, they've got 5 natural lefties: Corbin Carroll, Jack McCarthy, Jock Peterson, Adrian Del Castillo, and Alec Thomas. They've also got 2 switchies, Josh Bell and Geraldo Perdomo. But we look at the numbers. Again, this is one of those situations. I've got the benefit here of seeing line by line how these batters match up. Everybody but the bottom of the order is better than this Arizona team when it comes to Philadelphia as well. Give me the fact that they destroyed Nelson. They eat righties. We're getting this thing at a huge discount because for some reason the books dropped the shit out of this line. And I get it. They weren't great. I told you guys before. They carried the MLB on their back during the All-Star break. That's not just me boasting. That's a real thing. They had, 8 dudes in the All-Star break? There's fucking 9 guys on the team. Come on. Everybody else got rest. Everybody else got to relax. Of course they came back those first 2 weeks recharged. Of course they did. Think about your first 2 weeks coming back to work after a vacation. And then you see that miserable son of a bitch over there in the corner that never has anything positive to say anyways, and they're just miserable and grumpy, right? That's what happened in the Major League Baseball. Not that Philadelphia was miserable, but everybody came back jacked up and ready to roll. Now, it's 2 weeks later. You realize your boss is a dick. You realize you hate the parking process and having to walk into the office. You realize the fucking copier jams every time you got a report that's due. That's the rest of Major League Baseball right now as far as this thing is concerned. Arizona, look, we saw the Dodgers. We saw the Phillies get hot against the Dodgers at the end. And then yesterday, no quit in their game, man. They were firing bombs out there right to the end. It cashed that over for us as well. I'm taking some Philadelphia Phillies here. I expect them to regress back to form after that 2.5, 3 week hiatus and lack of performance that they got done out there. So, that's going to do it, you guys. Peter Gracia says, disgruntled employees, bad stuff. Dustin says, preach it, brother. Mikey, Phillies, Phillies, Phillies. Amen. Phil Kill says, get him, Mikey. 10 days is ridiculous. Funny, there's never an issue taking our money, though. No. But they have fucked up in the lines of, I talked about this yesterday, you guys. Make sure you go look at your state gambling board certification process out there and what they have to do if they're going to void transactions. It's all available online. Appreciate you guys coming in here. Let me throw Subhumans soccer action on the board. Columbus Crew, money line on both teams to score, plus 145. Thinks Columbus the superior team and well-rested. However, Sporting KC have scored in 19 of the last 20 matches. Sub, it's almost too good to be true. Let's get that cash from our guy. Guys, have yourselves a glorious Friday night. Have fun watching your games. Have fun enjoying time with the fam. We got it going. 2-1 coin. I love to see it, man. Things you love to see. 2 more. We cashed that first 5. Coin, Peter Gracia, David Wallace, Dustin, Phil the Kill, Jay Peasy, Jerry Davis, Joe T in the house, Robert Franklin, Nicholas Handy. Let's go, man. Let's have ourselves a weekend. Shane, great to see you. Mel, Ronnie Crawford, appreciate you, my dude. David Wallace, AOD, man, in the house. Skunk Blaster, let's go, man. Let's have ourselves a night. Robert Franklin likes that Calgary money line. Gonna be a fun one. ZC33, NJ Striker. Man, you guys know the deal. Tomorrow, we start at 5 p.m. Be there or be fucking square. Man, listen, be there or call your bookies and tell them you're doing them a favor. You're going to leave them alone on a Saturday. And I don't suggest you do that. We got the NFL popping up here soon. We want to have money in our pockets. Ice Viking says we can't have a new photocopier because our boss bought a... Yeah, man. You know the deal. You know the deal. And that damn reports always do when a copier's jammed. You guys know what's up, man. Have yourselves a great weekend, guys. I appreciate you rocking with us. Hit that thumbs up. Show the support to the crew out there. Make sure you check out Joe T's plays of the day. Make sure you check out Jay Peasy's play of the day. I love that Seattle game that he's got out there with them Mets. And I kind of like that Pittsburgh spot. I kind of do, you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you guys.